favorite podcast of sports with your host, Shay Pops. Guys, once again, this is early National Signing Day. This is part two. This is part two, okay? National Signing Day lasts for a very long time. So this is part two of and these are for the ones that just may want to keep up with the signing day and stuff like that. So on the last one that was about 2 hours ago, I want to say, I was just going through the players and things like that. But real quick, man, before I go through everything like that, so breaking news: Javion Hilson, he went on ahead and he signed with Missouri. He's a defensive lineman that I was trying to, just basically tell you guys about. If he would have signed, and also breaking news here, Michael Falsey, he sticks with Oklahoma. Okay. That was another one. That was an offensive tackle. He's a five-star recruit from out of Texas. And Javion Hilson, he was from out of the Florida area. Both of those guys have went separate ways. Javion Hilson, he's went to Missouri. Michael Falsey, he sticks with Oklahoma. And he's going to go there. Good luck to both of those gentlemen. And for Javion Hilson, not sure if he gets on the field next year, but we'll see him next year, man. When we go out there to Missouri and we play those guys, and which is I'm starting to kind of look at something here. I may just go to the Missouri game, to be honest with you all. I was thinking about going to the Notre Dame game, just wanting to really see how that feels, but I'm going to look at this SEC schedule that comes out on December 11th, which is next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, and it comes on at 7 Eastern. So you guys be ready for that. Once again, that's going to be the schedule release for the 2025 season. We will see where we're at with that and everything like that. And I'm going to have to see how these games all line up. But Missouri is very intriguing to me. And like I said, I was talking about going out there to the Notre Dame game. I know, of course, I can go to the LSU game. LSU is right down the road, people. Trust me, they're not anywhere. We can just drive there and just maybe drive back. But I don't want to go to the LSU game for whatever reason. But I may just go out there to Mizzou and see how that game really shapes out. It depends on what time of the year that game is going to be. But once again, hey guys, we're back. And like I say on the last podcast, I left off. I left off on this young man here, in which is the cornerback Jamar Bill Goings. I believe that's his name. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But once again, before I get started with him, I have some more breaking news as well. It's not with A&M, in which I believe if I seen a post from Ja'Day Walker, I think Ja'Day Walker may be coming back. I don't know, but I believe he may be back for round 3. But Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, the former 5-star commit, he was another one from Texas as well, from the state of Texas. He is now into the transfer portal. I had a feeling that was coming. I don't like how that was. I don't like how the way they done him over there at Oklahoma, because I'm going to be honest with you, that was the best quarterback they had on their roster. Regardless of how the way it started out, he was the best quarterback they had. That other guy, he is not good at all. I hate a lot of people try to hype him up. Man, that guy is not good. Jackson Arnold is indeed good, but that's crazy. He's on the move now. Who knows what he'll end up at? That's probably a quarterback to watch, and where he may just end up at Ole Miss. Who knows? But yeah, that's some interesting, entertaining, breaking news there. I do not believe he'll come to Texas A&M. I'm telling you that right now. I think people around the country know who Texas A&M is going to as a starting quarterback. And if you're going to come here, you're going to have to back up Marcel Reed. It is what it is on that. All right, so Jameer Beal Gaines, that's the gentleman that we're going to talk about here. He is a 4-star recruit. He's the cornerback from out of Goodyear, Arizona. He is nationally ranked number 93. At his position, he's number 12. And in the state of Arizona alone, he's number 1. Okay. He is about 6 foot, 170 pounds. Like I always tell you guys, trust me, when they get to A&M, they're gonna put a little bit of weight on him. And that's all credit to Tony Moffitt. Okay. Tony Moffitt has been relentless ever since he's come here. And I don't see that going away no time soon. Um, and as I'm talking to you guys, just to let you all know, I have not watched tape on all of these guys, man. I'm sorry. My head has been all the way into the football season. This is really around the time of year where I started watching a lot of tape on a lot of people. I knew some of them already, right? Because I had just been following them for so long. But I'm looking at it right now, man. And in this tape here, I believe they're playing like the 7-on-7. Um, it looks like this young man is going to be very good. He's going to be very, very good. I'm intrigued to see where do we fit him in at on the field. Like, do we give him at least 1 year on the bench? Not come in, just come on in, and just sit there and learn. Truth be told, that's what we need a lot of these guys to do. That's why I want a lot of these veterans to come back. A lot of these guys need to come back. You need to teach the gentleman that's behind you that will potentially take your starting spot when you go on and go to the NFL. Okay, that is what I'm hoping to see. I'm hoping to see that a whole lot. And that way, man, it gives these guys time to develop with these cornerback coaches and stuff like that, with these positional coaches. Give these guys time to learn the scheme and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Mike Elko's words, not mine. Almost all of these guys that has signed their paperwork, they will all be here in January. I'm going to say this once again. Almost all those guys except one has signed, they will all be here in January. These are early recruits. That has never been done before, not that I know of. I think the only one that will not be here in January nor in the spring is Jerome Miles. That's it. Everybody else, they are coming. They're coming. They're hungry. They can see what's going on at Texas A&M, and it's time. It's time. Although Jimbo was an elite recruiter, we'll give him that. Jimbo didn't bring this many guys in this early. So I don't know what Mike Elko, Colin Klein, and Jay Bateman has told those guys, but it has absolutely worked. And these guys will be here uh, in January. So a lot of you all just need to be paying attention, and a lot of you all need to be ready for that. Okay. So with that guy alone, like I say, he's real good. He looks elite with speed, in which we have some speedy corners. Can't tackle well. Can't tackle for whatever reason. We missed a lot of tackles last year, and I do not expect to see that continuously keep going on. All right, so just be on the lookout for that. Kelshawn Johnson, he was one of my favorite targets, right? And I told you guys about him before he had signed that day, which was like a couple of months ago. He was one of my favorite wide receivers right here. I think this could potentially be the Anaya Smith that we would need on this football team going forward. He is 5'11", 160 pounds. He plays the wide receiver role. Nationally, he's ranked number 112. At his position alone, he's number 15. In the state, he's number 24. Okay? Uh, I have watched film on him, and that's why I'm telling you guys. This could be like the Anaya Smith, just in a new era, right? Uh, I do believe that he will be another one which will put on some weight. All right. But as you can see, he has speed. And when he loses people in coverage and gets down in the backfield, he's going to make a catch. He's going to make a catch. And this is what we continue to say. How many playmakers do you have out there, right? How many playmakers do you have on the perimeter? I think this is one of the guys that come in and play slot very early. I'm not going to say he's going to be a starter by all means, but I am going to say that this is a guy that can come in and he can play. I think this is a guy that can go in there and he can stand alongside Isaiah Williams, in which a lot of you guys probably even forgot about. But him and Isaiah Williams alone, in which Isaiah has speed, I think these guys can come in and they can make an impact. Okay. Um, like I say, it will all depend on who we go out and get in the portal. Um, and I've already told you guys before, and I'm manifesting it. We will land Mika Hudson. I honestly think that. I believe we'll land him. And for whatever reason, I believe we'll land Jonte Cook. If Jonte Cook doesn't come here, then Jonte Cook may go to Oregon. That's the only other place I'll probably see him at. LSU, I'm not looking. No, not. I don't believe none of those guys end up at LSU. All right. But another wide receiver that's in the portal right now is uh Chris Hilton. I think it's Chris Hilton or Chris Lacey from LSU. Truth be told, I'm expecting them to lose another wide receiver. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm expecting those guys to lose another wide receiver. But anyways, man, that ain't the point. The point here is that Kelshawn Johnson, he can absolutely be a difference maker for you so far as that speed is concerned. And I was looking at Mike Elko, do his whole breakdown and stuff like that. And I was looking at him, just talk about the recruiting class. Hey man, we want guys in here that, does want to be in here, but also doesn't have character issues. The biggest thing about the number one recruiting class that Jumbo brought in, a lot of those guys had character issues. Uh, I mean, I don't. it is what it is at the end of the day. But like I said, a lot of those guys had a lot of character issues, man, and I hate it. I hate it a whole lot. But it is what it is. I believe some of these schedule. I'm sorry, guys. And while I be talking, I'll be looking at other things as well. I'm staying focused. I'm trying to multitask. Well, ain't no trying. I'm multitasking. But from the Texas A&M football 2025 schedule, it looks like on September 30th, A&M will play UTSA. On September 6th, Texas A&M will play Utah State. And on September 13th, A&M will play Notre Dame. On November 22nd, they will play Tarleton State, in which will most likely set us up for the Lone Star Showdown with Texas when they go out there next year. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys a rundown on that one. I like it. And the Notre Dame game, like I say, it's going to be on the 13th. I'm not. I may not go to that one. The UTSA game, I may just go there because it is going to be the first game. Yeah, I may just go to that one, to be honest with you guys. For the first home game, of course. But anyways, man, so with Kelshawn Johnson, right? I believe he's going to be a very good wide receiver. I believe he's more of a speed wide receiver, but Kelshawn Johnson can absolutely go up and high point the football at times, man. He can absolutely catch the football. So just keep your eyes on that one. What's up, dude? What's wrong with you? Another player to look at is Noah McHale. He is a linebacker for a lot of amount of years, man. We have had we have not had good linebacker recruiting. Don't get me wrong, the guys playing linebacker right now, they're very good. I don't think none of those guys are elite though. I believe Noah McHale can walk in here and he can absolutely turn that around for you. This is a nice depth piece. And I believe that guy will fit right in with that linebacking core right now. But he is a 4-star recruit. Nationally, he's number 120 at his position alone. He's number 8 In his state, he's number 10. He is from California as well. He is 6'3", 227. That is a very that is a very nice size linebacker right there. Just put it like that, okay? And like I say, just gonna cut on some of his tape here. Just gonna watch a little bit of this. I don't know what happened right there, but I'm just gonna, like I say, watch a little bit of his film. Um, and as you can see, he's a linebacker with pursuit. If you guys have watching Mike, if you guys have been watching Mike Elko long enough, what does Mike Elko love to do? He loves to blitz. He loves to blitz you. And in that time while he was here, he ran a lot of linebacker blitzes. He ran a lot of linebacker blitzes. I believe that he can come in and he can fit in this Mike Elko / Jay Bateman defensive style that they want to run. And I believe they'll be good. Also with Noah McHale, he can get out there and he can cover a tight end from time to time as well. That is one of the missing pieces that we're missing from that linebacker core. Now we haven't seen all of the linebackers play, of course, but that's one of the missing pieces. Okay. And in this day and age, man, you do need you some good linebacker play. You need that a whole lot. I think this is one of the guys that can come in there and you can benefit from putting that guy at linebacker and potentially starting linebacker. Like I say, man, a lot of these guys missed a lot of tackles this year. Somebody has to come in there and clean it up. All right. And this could be one of the guys that you're looking at. Reason being is because he does get in the backfield a lot. Looking at that South Carolina game and with how many tackles they missed on Lenore Sellers, I believe this guy here can get in that backfield and he won't miss. I honestly believe that. I believe he won't miss. Looking at that Auburn game, they missed some tackles with Peyton Thorne. I believe this guy here will come in and he won't miss. They missed some with Quentin Ewers. I believe he won't miss. All right, so that's just something to look at right there, all right? Another guy is 4-star recruit, Chance Sims. He's a defensive lineman. He's 6'2.5", 305 pounds. He's a 4-star recruit, nationally, number 130 at his position alone. He's 17. And in the state of Texas, he's number 26. Chase Sims is another good one, man. I have not seen a lot of his tape. I'm going to look at that now and just going to speak on it. And just to let you guys know, man, you guys can always go to 247.com or you can go to On3. And these guys have a lot of their film, just sitting around, so to speak. So, you guys can't go on there and just look at a couple of things, man. But looking at him, right? He gets down in the trenches, and which is what Mike Elko's love, and which is what Mike Elko loves. He may not have a lot of speed, and that's fine. But he's absolutely a defensive lineman that you will want to play in front of. I'm just looking at some film right now. He was going after the quarterback, tackled him, and forced him into an errant throw that led into an interception by the linebackers. This is what you want to do if you're going to recruit these defensive linemen in these linebacker packages, right? You want to get these defensive linemen out there, guys with long arms, guys that can make the play, guys that can overrun these offensive linemen, which are very skilled now, by the way. But you also want them to get in there and disrupt the throws, right? You do want to get tackled in the backfield, don't get me wrong, but if you have defensive linemen that can disrupt these quarterbacks that love to run around and these ones that love to stay in the pocket, you will be set up nice for the future going forward. This guy here, Chance Sims, I believe he can be one of those guys for you. He's really, really good. He's very athletic. He's very physical at the line of scrimmage. And in the SEC, we've been here for long enough. We already know what you got to do. You have to be a dog in these trenches. If you're not a dog in these trenches, then guess what? You're going to get beat. You're going to get manpower. You're going to get mauled. You're going to be looking behind you because everybody's going to be running up the field on you. And it's going to be a long day of football. All right. I think we saw a lot of that this year. I think we saw a lot of that to begin the year. Like I say, that lets you further know that either you weren't rotating your guys right, or you just didn't have the defensive lineman that you thought you had. And that's okay. That's all right. That's why you go out there and you recruit. Okay. Uh, Another guy here from Midlothian, Texas. Shout out to Midlothian. That's where some of my cousins stay. But he's an inside offensive lineman. 6'4", 320. You need those big hog mollies up there. But some nice guys that can pass block and can run block as well. He's a 4-star recruit nationally. He's number 140. In his position, he's number 8 in the state of Texas alone. He is number 27. All right, so let's watch a lot of this. Let's go to some of his film that he has on up there. So this year, the offensive line exceeded the expectations for me this year. All right, they look way better than what Jimbo ever had. Hindsight 2020. But they look good, man. That offensive line did look good, but that shows you a lot of where Adam Cushion has come from. That shows you a lot of what Adam Cushion is pushing these guys to do, and that just shows you the experience of Adam Cushion himself. As of right now, Adam Cushion is like your top 10. He is a top 10 recruiter right now. Believe it or not, but that's just all credit to Adam Cushion, man. It is looking good right now. Just looking at this film right here. He is I don't know why they have him lined up on the edge. I'm sorry, I was looking at defensive highlights. I don't know why they had him on the edge. Had him on like defense. Then again, you gotta remember, right? This is high school, so you gotta remember that. So, just looking at this film here, he's a very good run blocking offensive lineman. He can push up front and create a hole for you. Like I say, with Marcel Reed, you're gonna need a lot of these run blocking offensive linemen to come in, but you're gonna need some versatile offensive linemen as well. I think this is one that can get you there. This is one that could protect Marcel Reed in the future going forward. But this is also an offensive lineman that's going to protect these quarterbacks that I'm going to talk about coming up, because I'm going to stay on those guys for a little minute there. But you need these type of offensive linemen to come in, set the tone, and get everything together, man. So I like what I'm seeing right here. He's very lengthy. He's very agile. He can move around. This is a guy that you want because he's very athletic. All right, he is very, very athletic. Those offensive linemen like that are very dangerous. They're very good for screen plays, and they could absolutely take over a football game. All right, next guy. Marco Jones. Marco Jones is from Danville, California. He's a edge rusher. He's 6'5", 240. That is very big for a defensive lineman, to be honest with you, especially with that height and size. He is he's kind of small, but then again, he's going to be a very athletic defensive lineman here. Okay, he's going to be a very, very athletic defensive lineman. 6'5", 240. He's a 4-star recruit nationally. Number 154 at his position. He's number 15 in his state alone. He is number 13. All credit to Sean Spencer. Sean Spencer has been very good on this recruiting trail, man. He's been very, very good. He may have not got any 5-star defensive linemen this year, but that's okay. You know, that is all right. I'm here to tell you, keep on working at it. All right, continuously work at it, man, because it will come. But Marco Jones, he's a very athletic defensive line. In this day and age, you want at least two of those guys on that defensive line. It looks like he can be a drop back defensive lineman, but it also looks like he can play the linebacker if you want him to, right? That's why I say, man, it's very good to have athletic defensive linemen nowadays, man. He's a guy that will get in there fast on those blitzes, and that's a guy that you really, really want. First and foremost, like I told you before, he's 6'5". So what Mike Elko is doing, Mike Elko is going out there and he's getting you some guys that looks like, you know, that's built to be NFL type of guys. All right, and this is just coming from the high school level. Those are very big athletes. Very, very big athletes. Okay. And Mike Elko is showing you that once again, he recruited with Jimbo Fisher. He was a part of the reason to why we got that #1 class. You know, he went out and he got some of those guys knowing that he was leaving, and he told them to come to A&M. You know, Elijah Robinson was a big part of that as well. But Mike Elko was every bit of a part of that whole recruiting stage. So, you know, you guys got to remember that. But this guy here, he's also a run stopper. Okay? All right, so let's keep on going here. Another one here, 4-star recruit. At his position alone, he's number 31. In the state, he's number 37. Kobe Sellers from Pearland, Texas. He's cornerback. He's 5'11", 175. This guy here, he signed, you know, of course, right? He signed this month, but this was one of the guys that stayed with us for a little while, man. He had signed, he had committed, and he stayed with his commitment. He really, really stayed with his commitment, and you know, he kept on going up from there. This is a guy that I believe is going to make an impact whenever he gets on the field because of his speed alone. He can also cover, and like I say, in this day and age, you need kids that can stay with people speed-wise, but can also cover, right? You need those type of guys. Looks like in high school, he played a little bit of quarterback as well. You know, kind of remind you of Bryce Anderson. In high school, Bryce played on both sides of the field. Bryce played quarterback. Bryce played safety. Sometimes he's playing wide receiver, and just all kind of things, man. But Kobe Sellers, he's going to be good. He's going to be very good. And like I say, he's a guy with a lot of speed out there. Okay. Keep on going here. This is a name that's very familiar with a lot of you guys out there. DeJohn Petaway, cornerback from Katy, Texas. He's coming from out the newly built high school out there, PT.2. He's a 4-star recruit. Position, he's number 26 in the state alone. He's number 39. He's about 5'10", 175. I know that's kind of small for a corner, to be honest with you, but he brings in a lot of physicality, a lot of speed, a lot of determination, and a lot of just sitting there soundly watching the football. You know? Pull up a couple of his highlights here. But this is another guy that can go out and he can make you plays all over that football field. I do believe they got him to hold a lot of these slot wide receivers, in which if you're a slot wide receiver nowadays, man, a lot of these guys are fast. And you need a lot of them to stay with those guys. You know, looking at my son right now, he's in here. He's also a slot wide receiver. Very fast. Once he gets down the field and he burns you, he's going to catch the ball. You need a lot of these guys to cover that. All right. And this is what DeJohn Petaway, this is what he gives you. He's going to be a very good nickel corner. Um, and like I say, he usually stays in the hip pocket of these receivers, and he doesn't let them just run away. All right. I think we seen down the stretch. It was a lot of these guys that broke a lot of plays on A&M. They broke a lot of long yardage plays. And don't get me wrong. I think the main reason for that is because of the simple fact that Tyreek Chappelle got hurt. I'm gonna throw that out there. But Des Ricks, he was pretty much in the transition of continuously building himself up and getting ready. I think Des Ricks is gonna be a fool next year. I honestly think that. I think he's going to be a guy that will play in a nickel. I think Tyreek Chappelle will come back from injury and he'll take over that other spot alongside Will Lee, right? And I believe Des Ricks will play a nickel corner. I believe Des Ricks will shut a lot of those guys down in that receiving game. But this is absolutely a guy that's on defense that can stretch the football field. He can play on all sides. It's not just one. He can play on all sides. That is what you're going to need in this day and age of college football because everybody likes to throw the football. So that's another one to watch there. Jonte Newman is another one. He's a four-star offensive tackle from out of Bridgeland, Texas over there. Shout out to Bridgeland. Looks like, if I heard it correctly from Mike Elko, the head coach over there is an A&M alumni. And he's putting a bug in these kids' ear, and he's telling them, say, man, you should look at A&M, and which is all credit to Bridgeland, man. I love that. Shout out to those guys. I believe they play in the playoffs, and they have a game this upcoming weekend. Jonte Newman, offensive tackle, four-star recruit, 6'4", 275, position number 22, state number 44, if I'm not mistaken, from Mike Elko as well. He is Indy running for the MVP trophy, I believe. Let me look at this. Look like something just went off. I just seen an alert. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but looks like we got some breaking news somewhere. Oh no, it just looks like somebody's live. Yeah. Um, but but uh but yeah, Jonte Newman, like I say, from out of Bridgeland, Texas. Let's look at some information here. Go to a couple of these highlights. Like I told you guys, it's the reason why I done a part two. This is how this goes. Before you know it, I done like 2 hours of podcast on today. That's it. 247, they done like 5 hours, 6. So Jonte Newman, this guy, a good run blocking offensive tackle, and looks like he's a left guard. I'm going to be honest with you. That's something that we do need. Now, pass blocking is probably the only thing that he just may need to work on just a little bit more. But run blocking, he's awesome. He just looks like he just may need to work on a little bit of his footwork. But at the end of the day, this is a guy that you do need on your offensive line, especially like I say from Marcel Reed, because downfield running is the strength of Colin Klein's offense. He needs running backs in his offense. That is how he operates. He does not run the Lincoln Riley offense. He does not run a Steve Sarkisian offense. He does not run the Lane Kiffin offense. He runs a I'm going to spread you out, but I want to run the football as well type offense. It's a very fast offense. It does have motion. A lot of people was mad at him this year. I get it. But this guy, this is an offensive lineman that you will need to run the football, period, okay, for years to come. Like I keep on saying, this is the offensive lineman that you're going to need from Marcel Reed, man. You're going to need from Marcel Reed, but you're also going to need this type of offensive lineman for Miles O'Neal, and which is going to be behind Marcel Reed. I guarantee you Miles O'Neal will be behind Marcel Reed this year. But this is a guy that you're going to want. And I think a lot of people are underrating Miles O'Neal's speed as well. Miles O'Neal can throw the football, but he also has speed running. That's not a guy that you want to put in some zone reads. I'm telling you now. But that's a guy that can take off on you and run. All right. But this is an offensive lineman that you are going to need. He has long arms and he knows how to make pancake blocks. All right. So this is the one I think a lot of us been waiting on, right? So Brady Hart. Brady Hart is a 4-star recruit. Nationally, he is, well, no, let me see. So, and I'm looking at 247 here, guys. So, I think that was right. Let me open it back up. So with Brady Hart, I think he should be labeled as like a 4-star recruit. So Brady Hart is a 4-star recruit. Nationally, he's number 242. Quarterback-wise, in his position, he's number 22. In Florida alone, he is number 36. So with Brady Hart, right? Brady Hart was the guy that was at Michigan. We all know this. He had committed to Michigan, and Brady Hart is supposed to be. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He's supposed to be in high school next year. Brady Hart said, "Damn that! I'm going to come out early. I'm going to come out super early," and he reclassified to this 2025 cycle. Brady Hart is another one that will be on campus come January, and he will be another guy that is, signed with A&M. He'll be a part of that quarterback class. This is a guy that I really do see being a very bright future for Texas A&M. I do not believe he will get his start until probably 2027, in which is a darn good time because it gives him time to sit on the bench, learn a lot of that Colin Klein offense if he doesn't leave. But it gives him time to solidify what he wants to do, how the way he wants to run things when he's a starter, and keep on going. I believe Brady Hart will start for you in 2027. Marcel Reed will start in 2025 for sure. Then I believe Miles O'Neal will take over in 2026. He's only going to be out for 1 year because I believe Miles O'Neal will put up some numbers that you guys will not believe. I'm telling you this right now. He has an arm on him. And he's going to go to the NFL after just playing 1 year of college football, in which is all that he really needs. Well, 1 year as a starter. Because I don't believe that Marcel Reed, well, then again, Marcel Reed probably will come back in 2026. So, but then again, man, we're gonna see. But if Marcel Reed goes out there and he has a darn good year in 2025, and he here in the NFL draft boards are calling this lane, put it like this: if he goes out there, if Marcel Reed goes out there, and he has a Lamar Jackson-ish type of season, and he wins the Heisman Trophy, Marcel Reed is gone. He's gone. He's absolutely chunking the deuce. I don't blame him. He's a redshirt freshman anyways. And I mean, he's gone, man. So when he comes back next year, he'll be like a redshirt sophomore. But then again, if he's not ready yet, he's going to be back in 2026. So let's keep on going. So Brady Hart, right? Like I say, he was committed to Michigan. Flipped his commitment from Michigan when they signed Bryce Underwood. And, hey, he was like, okay, well, hey, man, forget it. I'm gone. So looking at this guy here, right? So with Brady Hart, looking at him, yes, he's undersized, people. I know this part. He does have the height, though. He has the height and he has the arm to throw anywhere on that field. Okay? And this is the thing that a lot of you all just needs to watch. He can throw. He can absolutely throw. All right. I believe that's good for your offense. Um, that's good at where he wants to go. And that could be potentially dangerous, for the rest of college football because this guy absolutely has an arm on him. Um, he makes some window throws and where he gives his wide receivers a chance to go up and high point the football. And that's something that you were missing this year, man. Let's be honest. We didn't really throw the football downfield like how the way I think we should have. But he can make throws inside of those very tight windows. We seen Marcel Reed do it when he threw that route to Noah Thomas, and uh, Noah Thomas absolutely took off and he went on down the field. I think this is the same type of guy that has just better accuracy than Marcel Reed. Okay. And he can absolutely sling this football, man. It's a reason to why Michigan wanted him. It's a reason to why other schools wanted him as well. And just so happened, A&M got him. All right. So we're here. Like I said, I think he'll be very good. I think he'll fit right in with this Colin Klein offense because he's a mobile quarterback as well that can make some throws on the run. And when he makes those throws on the run and he's dead on with it, those guys are going for a touchdown. But he throws very quick. He has very quick throws. That's what I like about it. All right, let's keep on going here. Offensive tackle, Marcus Garcia. This is another guy, 4-star recruit from out of Denton, Texas. He is nationally number 238. He is the 26th best offensive tackle and 29th in the country. In 29th inside the state of Texas. He is 6'5", 270 pounds. Just go and look at a couple of his highlights here. He's good in the run blocking. And like I keep on saying, man, with this Colin Klein offense, these are the guys that you want. You want guys that are literally damn good in run blocking. He is going to be your run blocking offensive lineman all day long, right? Yes, you do want pass blockers in this day and time, but he is absolutely the guy to have when you are run blocking out there. He's good at pass blocking as well, and depending on what quarterbacks you're going to bring in, that's going to set you up nicely, man. It's going to set you up real nicely. Real quick, look at the comment section. All of them are going to be early enrollees besides the wide receiver from Utah. Yes, I've already said that already. Thank you for pointing that out as well. But yes, all of these guys are going to be early enrollees. They're all coming because they're hungry. They're hungry. They see what Mike Elko wants to build over there at Texas A&M, and they want to be a part of something special. Like I told you guys before, man, this was the same with Jimbo, but it's not the same. All right, put it like that. But Marcus Garcia can give you some inside help in which with Colin Klein, he's going to have this team running again on next year as well. All right, but he's going to be very balanced on next year. This year, he couldn't really do it as much. All right, let's keep on going here. Tristan Norman. He's a wide receiver from out of Alabama. He's 6'0", 6 foot, 167 pounds. He's a 3-star recruit, nationally number 549. The 85th best wide receiver from the state of Alabama alone. He is number 24. Now I'm just like Bronny on this one for Texas. I'm talking about Bronny, like I work for Texas. But I'm just like Ryan Broninger here on this one. I think this guy was very, very overlooked. Put it like that. I believe he was overlooked. This is another guy that come in and be like an Anaya Smith for you, and he can go downfield. He can chase the middle of that field, and he can absolutely catch a lot of those passes, being like a slot wide receiver. But then again, he can make a lot of contested catches as well. I think he was overlooked, being that he was in the state of Alabama, and they did have some good wide receiver prospects over there. But I just believe that he kind of got shuffled down those boards, maybe because of the school that he was at. Who knows? But if I'm not mistaken, he didn't have all of the big time offers needed. Well, guess what? Texas A&M was a very big time offer, and I believe Texas A&M will be a good fit for him. Once again, this is all a part of a Colin Klein's offense. He's another guy that can run routes and he can get separation. What we need now is separation. I believe you got a lot of wide receivers that can run go routes. They don't get separation though. If they're not going to get separation, then these guys got to get a lot of contested catches. And that wide receiver roster this year, not a lot of those guys can make contested catches. All right, not to call anybody out, nothing like that, but none of those guys can really make contested catches. Some of these guys that Colin Klein is bringing in on his offensive side, which is Jerome Miles being one of them, he's going to make a lot of contested catches, man. And a lot of us are going to be excited, okay? Keep on going here. Landon Rink, by far, is starting to become one of the more favorite Aggies out there. He's a four-star recruit, nationally number 254, defensive line class, number 24 in the state of Texas alone, number 31. He is 6'2", 280 pounds. With Landon Rink, and as a right now, Landon Rink, I believe he's from Cy-Fair. But Landon Rink can absolutely get in there and he can create pressure. He can get in there and he can make tackles. He can get in your backfield. He can disrupt the pass, and he is absolutely dynamic when he gets back there and he goes and makes that pass rush. He's very fast for his size. He's very, very fast, and like I say, he can make the tackle. There's no arm tackling from him. He's wrapping you up. He's wrapping you up. That's what we need in this class. This is the reason to why he's one of the more favorite Aggies in this class. Um, well, he's one of the more favorite prospects in this class, and I think that Landon Rink will be very, very good, man. He's a guy that can play inside and outside defensive lineman. But Landon Rink is going to be awesome, man. He's going to be very, very awesome. They played North Shore in the playoffs. They lost. But this is a guy that can absolutely make a lot of plays for you, man. He can. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably something like a guy in Max Wright when he came in the Jimbo Fisher era, and he was playing on the defensive line, but he had transferred. Well, he crossed over to tight end, right? But Landon Rink, he gives you that physical size. He gives you that. He's only 6'2", but he gives you that physical size. And once he makes a tackle, you're not breaking away from him. All right, so damn good guy. Love him on that defensive line. Think he's going to be very good. Another one here, DeAndre Ridden. He's a guy that plays for DeSoto. If I'm not mistaken, DeSoto is still playing in the playoffs, I think. But he's 5'10", 195. He's from DeSoto, Texas. He is a three-star recruit, number 403 nationally. He's the 28th best running back, and from the state of Texas alone, he's a number 55 recruit. Jamiri, that is my second son. Got a lot of kids waiting on third. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
How was your day?
Good.
That's good. But DeAndre Ridden, man, he's going to be a very, very good running back, especially in this Colin Klein offense. I do not think it's going to take long for him to get on the field. I do not expect for him to be on the field next year, but then again, you don't know what could happen. I don't expect him to be on the field, but I expect him to sit back there, and he's going to learn from those running backs a lot. Okay, I expect for him to get on that field in 2026 and potentially be a starter. Okay, I'm going to say that once again. I expect him to get on that field and potentially be a starter back there. In that 2025 class, Colin Klein is going to look for a lot of running backs. He's going to sign at least 2 running backs in that class. I know for sure, probably 3, but 2 for sure. I know, and he's probably going to just pick up another one from out of the transfer portal. Okay, but DeAndre Ridden, man, like I say, he plays for DeSoto, Texas. If you guys did not know, DeSoto is a powerhouse in the state of Texas. They are a 6A school, and when I say 6A school, they're up there with the Cadies of the world, the Westlakes of the world, the Austin Westlakes, the South Lake Carroll, in which Quinn Ewers came from, up there with the North Shores, in the Duncanvilles of the world. You know, and also, you know, the Conroe and the Willis, Texas, and stuff like that. Those teams are all 6A schools. The Woodlands and stuff like that. Those teams are all 6A schools. And they're like some of the best of the best. But that guy there, man, DeAndre Ridden, he's very good. He has some of that A-chain speed on him. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He's rated as a 3-star. I do feel like he's underrated. He probably should have been a 4-star, to be honest with you. And but he has some of that A-chain mixed in him with some of that Le'Veon Moss. He's going to be a very, very good running back. I know he is. This is one of the guys that you know, he held his commitment, man. And he was not changing it at all. Shout out to Mike Elko, like I told you before, for going into that Dallas area. We need a lot of those kids from Dallas area, man. I think for a long time, Jimbo Fisher just totally whiffed on those kids. But now, Texas A&M is coming back. They're coming back to the Dallas area. They're trying to mix them in with Houston and a lot more other places, man. But I get it, though, because Jimbo was a big Houston Texan guy. Well, he was a big Houston, Texas guy. And he got a lot of those kids from Houston. He had a lot of them, and which wasn't a problem, but you have to mix those kids in with Dallas, East Texas, stuff like that. All right. This is another favorite one in the class that held this commitment for a long time. Kelvion Riggins, linebacker. He's 5'11 and a half, 205 pounds. He's from Forney, Texas. He was a 3-star recruit, 359 nationally. Linebacker, he's number 42. And in the state of Texas alone, he is number 50. Let's look at him here. The reason why a lot of us like Kelvion Riggins, right? He kind of reminds you of Scooby Williams. I'm being totally honest with you. And I think Scooby Williams had a good year this year, man. I'm so happy to know that he's coming back for one last ride. This is going to be his senior year. Next year will be Scooby Williams' senior year. He reminds you a lot of Scooby Williams. And if you guys don't know Scooby Williams, he's number 0 on that defense. That's the linebacker. He reminds you of him. He's going to step in there. He's going to make a lot of big plays. I understand Scooby overran a couple of plays this year. That's the reason to why he's coming back. He needs to work on that. I believe next year Scooby Williams will be that guy. All right. I'm not saying he's going to be in the first round, but I believe Scooby has the potential to go in the second round next year. That says a lot for Kevion Riggins that's coming, because I believe Kevion Riggins could be just Scooby Williams again. Um, Kelvion is good. He has that speed as a linebacker, and he's another one. He is a blitzing linebacker. Study Mike Elko if you guys don't know Mike Elko already. Us Aggie fans, man, we already know what Mike Elko brings. He brings a lot of blitzes. He brings a lot of blitzes, and he dials them up perfectly. Okay, um, I believe, uh, I believe that Mike Elko will have a first round linebacker when it's all said and done to come out in the next 2 years. And that could very well be Terrion York. I'm being honest. That could very well be Terrion York to go in that first round. Okay. So just watch out for that. But Kelvion Riggins, man, I think he's gonna be good. He fits that linebacking core. He knows what Mike Elko wants to do. He sees the scheme. He knows what Jay Bateman likes to do with that defensive line. He fits that scheme as well. And these guys are going to be very good. But I think a lot of you guys are kind of downplaying Jay Bateman, man. I understand Jay Bateman, he can teach tackling, but those guys have to make the tackle. Okay, they ultimately have to make the tackle at the end of the day. They cannot get whooped on that line of scrimmage and think everybody else is supposed to make the tackle for them. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. All right, let's keep on going here. And we only got two more people, guys. Only got two more people. Tyler Thomas. He's from Dickinson, Texas out there. He's a 4-star recruit. He's a 3-star recruit. Nationally, number 637. He's an inside offensive lineman. He's ranked number 46 out of all of them from the state of Texas alone. He is number 91. He is 6'4" and a half, 317 pounds. You need those big guys on that offensive line. I've always asked this question. My wife has always asked this question. What are they feeding these kids? Who's paying for those dinners? Because that's a lot of food in that refrigerator, man. That is a lot of food in those refrigerators, a lot of food in them freezers. I don't know what's in the sea up there in Galveston, but hey, it is what it is, man. If you guys do not know, Dickinson, Texas is located in the Galveston area. They do produce a lot of kids. That is where Donovan Green came from, as well as the other offensive tackle, P.J. Williams, when he was here and stuff like that. Just keep that in mind. So just looking at this, man, he's on that offensive line. He's going to be the pass blocking offensive line. That is very, very good. We need that. We need a lot of those guys. I'm tired of these quarterbacks for Texas A&M getting injured all the damn time. You need some guys that can pass block, okay? Yes, I know Marcel Reed can run around. I know the guy that's coming in, he can run around as well. That's fine. But damn, you need somebody that's going to pass block for these guys, man. They can't just keep on running around the football field and all of a sudden they get hit and get hurt. It's like, oh, well, he should not ran. Guys, I got to stop this. Got to stop this. He should have ran. If it's no help on the offensive line, then what else is he supposed to do? This is a guy that can come in, rewrite that wrong, let him get out there, let him get the field. He's 317 pounds, for crying out loud. I don't think anybody is going to move him just like that. All right, so that's the guy that you put on that offensive line. Let him be an impact player. Keep going. Another prospect here, Joshua Moses. He's a guy that's from Spring, Texas. Hey, shout out Spring, Texas, by the way. He's 6'3", 315 pounds. This guy has stayed committed with us since last year, I think. No, not since last year, since earlier this year. He stayed committed. He's a 3-star recruit, nationally, number 1,267, inside offensive lineman, number 93 ranked, and then in the state of Texas alone, number 195. Adam Cushing went out and got him. And like I say, man, credit to Adam Cushion for just saying, no, we need more offensive line. I want some offensive linemen that's not scared to get out here and do what they got to do. That's what you love to see. We need that. So, looking at some of this film here, uh, he's a big guy. That's your pass blocker, and that's your run blocker. Y'all love that. He's an offensive lineman that can get downfield and he can make some blocks as well downfield. That guy is going to run block you to death. You're not going to pass over him a whole lot. All right, just like I said, that's a guy that is going to keep his nose down, keep his head up, and he can pass block, man. This is a big old guy. And like I say, man, you need those guys. I'm looking at the video and it looks like somebody tried to call themselves jumping up into him, and he just flat out, doop, and the guy fell down instantly. That's what you need. That's a big old guy that can step up, make you some blocks. Now, don't get me wrong, he may miss a couple of them, but then again, he's gonna make a lot of them. All right, so that's a guy, man, that you really love to have on that offensive line. Truth be told, your offensive line needs to weigh a certain amount of pounds anyways, so you guys can be good on that end. All right. Let me keep going here. It was one more quarterback in which, I don't know where he's at. Oh, here he goes right here. And keep in mind, it's still a lot of these guys that hadn't committed yet. But it looks like they've already committed. I don't know what I'm talking about then. Okay, just on. So this is a guy that committed late, and he's from he's from Montgomery, Texas, right? He was committed to Tulsa, but then he flipped his committed and committed with Texas A&M. His name is Eli Marcos. This is a guy from Montgomery, Texas, man. Montgomery, Texas. Stand up. Montgomery, Texas is down the road from me. Literally, they're down the road, probably like 20 minutes away. But this is a guy that was from Montgomery, Texas, and went to Lake Creek. Okay, Lake Creek is in Montgomery. Yes, guys, Montgomery is literally grass everywhere. I'm here to let you guys know that. But Montgomery, Texas is beautiful. Okay, it's a beautiful like farming town slash just older town. Okay, older part of Texas. But this guy here is from Montgomery, Texas. He's a quarterback, by the way, 6'1.5", 200 pounds. He's a 3-star recruit, nationally number 1,545. Quarterback ranking 89, state of Texas alone, 232. This is one of the guys that turns out to be very dangerous when their time comes to get on the field. And what I mean by that is these guys get on the field, and at times you can't take them off the field because they just look so good. It's just a simple fact of that because of where he may have went to school, he was very underrated. He was very under recruited. Not a lot of people knew about him because of the simple fact of that he's in Montgomery, Texas, and he and he went to Lake Creek. But then again, I say that, then you had Bryce Foster come from out of Montgomery High School, which is in Montgomery, Texas. And Bryce Foster was on the borderline of being a 5-star recruit. So, you just have to watch out for these things. But this is a guy that does look very good. But this is also another school in where they're 6A as well. They're 6A, I think, D2. Or 6A D1 is one of them, but there's another one that's like 6A D1 or D2, one of them. But this guy does have an arm on him. He has an arm on him. Look, he played in the state of Texas. We love football. We don't care about what part of Texas you're in. We love football, man. It is all about football down here, track and field as well. He's a guy that can make the throws. Um, it's just like I say, he was a very underrated and under recruited quarterback. But he can make some big time throws. Trust me, he has Aggie ties down there in Montgomery. I know this for sure. Um, and he can be a guy that if you put him on the field, he probably won't come off the field, man. I'm telling you guys this right now. Eli Marcos probably when he gets his chance, in which he's going to battle it out with Brady Hart, and I know that for sure. But he could be a guy that won't come off that field at all. And he is a true pocket passer. He's mobile when it's time to be mobile, but he's a good pocket passer and he has touch on the ball. He has accuracy. And if you surround this guy with elite wide receivers or just with some darn good wide receivers, I'm gonna say this for the 15th time, he probably won't come off that field. All right, so that's it for the early National Signing Day, guys. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this because I know I did. Um, I'm not sure what this is went to now. What is this? I don't know how upset to get there. I guess the National Signing Days went off probably. Yeah, I think it's went off. I think it went off. But yeah, man, that's the guy, like I say, that probably won't come out the field. But hey, man, I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. As of right now, looking at this 2026 class, I'm just going to give you some names to watch. Defensive lineman from out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Depending on if Brian Kelly stays at that school, in my opinion, next year I don't believe Brian Kelly will be there in 2026. I don't believe that. Uh, but this is a guy that you want to watch, Lamar Brown. He's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's a defensive lineman. He is a five-star prospect. They only have him at the four-star right now because 2026 haven't just fully started. Uh, but he is nationally number 11 he's the 11th best player in the nation. At his position alone, he's number one. In the state alone, he's number one. If Mike Elko goes in there and he gets that guy, it's going to piss off a lot of Louisiana people. I can hear them right now talking crap to me, and talking crap to Mike Elko, talking crap to Texas A&M, to be honest with you. But that's a guy I think Elko is keying in on because he does want that young man. He wants him badly. That's a guy that Sean Spencer is keying on. That's also a guy that Jay Bateman is keying on. They want him. Keep on going here. This is a young man that I'm going to watch very heavily because he could every bit of be a top 15 player in the class of 2025 class 2026 when it's all said and done. Jermaine Bishop, he's from Willis, Texas. He goes to Willis High School, in which Willis was undefeated this year until they met up with Duncanville, in which Duncanville I think beat them. Either Duncanville beat them or it was I think North Shore may have. I don't know if it was North Shore or Duncanville. It's one of those guys beat them. But they were in the playoffs. They just got beat last week. But those guys were good. They were very, very good this year. And he was part of the reason. His name is Jermaine Bishop, once again, from Willis, Texas. Went to Willis High School. Going to Willis High School. Right now, he's ranked as number 35. That ranking will change over next year. This is another one that Mike Elko, Jay Bateman, and the cornerbacks coach, they are chasing this young man down. Okay, I would not be surprised to see him end up at Texas A&M or Texas when it's all said and done. I believe that A&M can get him, to be honest with you. But I would not be surprised to see him, like I say, to end up at maybe Texas A&M or Texas. Though those are the schools that I would look at a whole lot right now. But he's going to be the 2026. He's going to be in the 2026 class. I do believe he wants to stay home. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Uh, Texas A&M is way much closer to him than Austin is. Okay, just letting people know that right now. Willis, Texas is closer to College Station than it is Austin, Texas, which is way out on the west by San Antonio. All right, so, but anywho, guys, that's all I have for you on today. Let me see if there's any breaking news. I don't think it is. It's not. Again, let me look. No, it's not. They were just showing something with Lamont Rogers and DeAndre Ryder. I believe Tristan Norman will ball out because I feel like he thinks that he got slept on. And you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, that is it. So let me just go through these classes, but let me also let you guys know how these rankings look. So as of right now, these are the guys that are in the top 10 classes right now. So number 1 is Texas. And I do believe that Georgia, when it's all said and done, I believe that Georgia is going to finish out the number 1 recruiting class because I believe that Georgia is waiting on their defensive lineman to go ahead and make its announcement, I think, over the weekend. But I do believe it'll be Georgia. That'll be number 1 when it's all said and done. But as of right now, the number 1 recruiting class belongs to Texas. Number 2 is Oregon. Number 3 is Alabama. Number 4 is Georgia. Number 5 is Ohio State. Number 6 is Michigan. Number 7 is Auburn. Number 8 is Texas A&M. Number 9 is LSU. And number 10 is Tennessee. That's your on 3 rankings so far as right now is concerned. For your 247 rankings, your number 1 class is Texas. Your number 2 class is Georgia. Number 3 is Alabama. Number 4 is Oregon. Number 5 is Ohio State. Number 6 is Auburn. Number 7 is Michigan. Number 8 is Texas A&M. Number 9 is LSU. And then number 10 is Tennessee. The top 25 classes overall will be number 11, Florida, 12, Notre Dame, 13, USC, 14, Ole Miss, and which is very surprising. Shout out to Lane Kiffin, I guess, you know, because that's his first ever, like, top 15 class ever. Number 15 is Miami. Number 16 is Oklahoma. Number 17 is Penn State, which is crazy. Number 18 is Georgia Tech. Number 19 is Missouri. 20 is South Carolina. 21 is Nebraska. 22 is Florida State. I'm surprised they're still in here. 23 is Washington. 24 is TCU. 25 is Wisconsin. And on the back end, which trips me out a whole lot, 26 is Clemson. I don't know where Dabo is going with this whole recruiting thing, but that's crazy. That's crazy as I don't know what. All right, so that's it. That's all I have for you guys on today, period. I will not be back until probably Friday. But that's it. That's all I have for you, okay? Love all of you. Giga Mags.